Today we are going to show you really random things that you might spot as you're walking, cycling, carring around Edinburgh. How are you all? Hope you're all happy and healthy and well out there. Yeah, I was trying to think about what to do today, and then I started to spot random things, and I thought, well, there you go. so that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna spot random things that seem out of place, but possibly maybe have a purpose. We're on Regent Road right now, at the very end of Regent Road, and there's a park. It's a very small park right at the end, and this is where we're going to look at number one of random things to spot as you're wandering about. So let's get started. So here we are. You see, just a nice park, just beautiful buildings up here on Regent Road, and then over here just more park right there. Just it's grass essentially, is what you would expect, and quite empty apart from this one thing. And you see these about the place. There's a few in the meadows, there's some on the little bit of grass which is just over here, but it's a random one lone exercise machine. Go the Great Outdoor Gym Company, and it's just that. It's like, some of them have two, some of them maybe randomly have a bike or a kind of rowing machine kind of thing. But yeah, it's just one piece of gym equipment permanently, out in the middle of a park, which I totally get why you would put this free equipment out for people to be able to exercise. I think it's a great idea. It's just the fact that it's just one thing. You know what I mean? If you want people to come and put two or three things, maybe I don't know, put a fence around it and make it a little outdoor gym area. It's just, don't you think that's random? Just one random leg raise thing in the middle of the park. I like it. It's random. But that's what we're here for. So there you go. There's random thing number one. Let me know where you spot them. I think that they are all over the place. Just one lone exercise machine all on its own, saying, someone please do some exercises on me. Anyone. Bear in mind, I'm fat and old. That's all you get. I did better than I thought. Moving on. Number two. We are here at the Scottish Parliament, Holyrood Palace. There is the there's Holyrood Palace right beside me, right there. Home of the royal family when they are here in Edinburgh, and here is the Scottish Parliament. What the random thing is, though, is these. See these? Now, it's bike racks. Quite a lot of them, actually. Quite a lot of bike racks. But what's random about them? Well, apart from the fact the shape of them, they're all a bit random, but there is a purpose. There is a purpose and a point to these random shapes, which is, if you stand exactly in the right place and just duck down, they make a bike. Can you see that? Can I? Is that quite right? Have I got that lined up exactly right? Maybe not. Kinda there. It might be better from the other side, because it looks like from here the seat is bigger than the handle. So let's go around the other side. But can you see what I mean? That it's actually a bike. My bike. Okay, yeah, I think this might be better to do it from this side, because the seat seemed awful big compared to the handle. Not quite right, not quite right. I think you must be able to see what I'm getting at though. Yeah, is that it? There we go. There we go, a bike. Look at that. Isn't that random? I like it. I think it's fun. Completely random. And I think there's a couple of them. Obviously, I don't think that one does it. That one might. This one I think does as well, but the tree is kind of in the way. Well, that one's kind of better. That one's a little bit better. There we go, look at that, a bike. That's definitely one of these things that if you're here with friends, with family, and let's face it, if you're wandering around Edinburgh in Scotland, you're gonna come down to Holyrood Palace, the Scottish Parliament, Arthur's Seat right there. You're going to be in this area for a picture. That's one of those things that you can say, come here, let me show you this. Duck down, let me show you this. Next up, random things on buildings, which there's lots of, but this is one of my favourite ones. Okay, we're on the Cowgate right now. We're maybe about a quarter of the way up the Cowgate. There's the Tolbooth Tavern right there, Museum of Edinburgh right there, but it's this building right here that I want to sort of point out. It's kind of, I don't know what it is, to be completely honest. I think it's part of the university. If you go in there, I think it's part of the university. I'm not sure. And you could point out that it's got a balcony there that's really random that you would have to climb out a window to get onto. But actually it's these here, these old windows that are blocked up. Lots of people will tell you it's window tax, which is why they're blocked up. And there are a lot of windows in Edinburgh that were blocked up because of the window tax. However, I don't believe that these ones are anything to do with that, and I'll tell you why. The doors. Look at the door. That's a door there. Is there another one? That's a door there. And the reason that I think it's been a bottom floor that at some point has been bricked up. You know, it's been bricked up in bricks that don't look too far off the edge of that actual building. But the reason that I think it's random and different is look at the size of the doors. The street level's obviously changed. So the door is very small compared to where the street is. That there, top of the door, comes up to just underneath my neck, top of my chest. So you can see that that's a very small doorway. So it's just one of these other random things around about old Edinburgh. And truthfully, look at the height of the window off where the street is. That'd be a very low window, don't you think? So randomly this shows us that this part of the street must have been lower at some point. And obviously the street's been built on quite a lot, cobblestones, tarmac, but all of this has changed multiple times. And gradually the building here has got a little bit buried there. Don't you think that's random and at the same time completely fascinating? There's another door. There's a door. There's a door. A low window. There's another door. This one seems to be the tallest. Again, we're at the bottom of the slope. That one comes up to my eye line. That one comes up to my eye line. Don't you just love things like this? Little things that you can just spot and say, look. Love it. Absolutely love it. I have to say, walking around Edinburgh and just spotting random things I love. Now this is one that Scottish people will know. I think if you were outside of Scotland you probably wouldn't realise. You could figure this one out just by what else is on the building, but I want to point it out anyway. So here we are, that's the storytelling centre. There's a haggis box. My friends at the haggis box, make sure you go in there and get the best haggis in town. In my opinion, other haggises are available. Part of the Royal Mile here. Now you can tell here that, you know, some of the Royal Mile opposite here is not as old as some of that. You can see there's older buildings there. That's not an old building. World's End is a very old building. Not quite looks old. Looks old. You know what? Actually, you know what I love here as well. See that? See the change in brickwork to show the different timelines. And the reason it is staggered and messy like that is because one of the original buildings has been taken down, and then they've tagged the other one on the side. Because look how the chimney change. You see that? How it's not quite. There we go. You see how it's not quite a straight, perfect line up. They've kept that part of the building, which obviously. Anyway, it's this building we're looking at, and it's that. Look, pictures. See that? Pictures right there. Which is a random thing to have up on the side of a building, but it's because the pictures is what we call the cinema or the movies. We call it the pictures, which I suppose in America the moving pictures became the movies, whereas here it became the pictures. That's what we used to call it, the pictures. And you can see under there, New Palace Cinema. It used to be a cinema. Edinburgh used to have a ridiculous, and I mean a ridiculous amount of cinemas. There's lots of buildings in Edinburgh that used to be cinemas. Princess Street used to have a cinema, like they're all over the place, literally all over the place, because that was the entertainment. You know, when the moving pictures came out, that was what people wanted to see. And remember, there was no multiplexes as well. Cinemas had one screen. So, not the oldest building in the world, by any means. 100 years, I would probably say, maybe slightly under. Quite very young for the Royal Mile. But yeah, pictures. And that's because that's what we called the movies. I love that, that's very Scottish. It's very, very Scottish. And is now, you know, I love the fact that the slang, the nickname, is built into the building. I don't know anywhere else that I can think of that's kind of happened, where the nickname for something has been built into the building. And I love that randomness, and I love that pride in what we call things. And last, but by no means least, one that you're not going to expect. There's a park bench dedicated to John Lennon. Now John Lennon had a big tie with Edinburgh. He would visit Edinburgh a lot. His cousin, who he was really close to, moved up here when they were kids. So he used to come up and spend a lot of time here through his youth. And even when he was an adult, he would still come to Edinburgh. And on his death, here we are, Scott Monument, right there, Prince Street Gardens. You might have to search for it, because it gets moved about when they do things here. There's a bench dedicated to John Lennon. Presented by Edinburgh Beatles Appreciation Society, John Lennon, 1940 to 1980. Dr. Winston O'Boogie, bless you wherever you are. So for anyone who's a Beatles fan, or a big Beatles fan, there you go. There's one for you to go to. Like I said, it's in the east side, the Scots Monument side of Prince Street Gardens. But you can see whenever they do things here, whenever the Christmas market or anything happens here, then these chairs, you know, they get put away and then they get put back out again. So they may not be in the same order. So you might have to search for it. But if you are a John Lennon fan, if you are a Beatles fan, and you want to pay respect and sit on a bench dedicated to John Lennon in Edinburgh, and there you have it. There's a random one for you, but you weren't expecting that. And I think we'll leave it there. Things that you wouldn't expect to see in Edinburgh, or just to see in Edinburgh. It's windy again. Hope you've enjoyed that, guys. If you have, as always, remember, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Just met a lovely couple as I was doing this video today on the Royal Mile, who said that the videos helped them, one, get into Edinburgh from the airport, and two, just explore Edinburgh. That's what they're there for. If you see me out and about, please say hello. Please come up and say hello. But I think we'll leave it there. Till next time. Bye, humans.